Hi guys, today let's discuss the LeetCode question 56, merge intervals. This is a quite popular question on the LeetCode and it is also featuring in the top 150 interview questions. Given an array of intervals where intervals of I is equal to start of I and end of I, merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of non-overlapping intervals that cover all the intervals in the input. So let's go to the example 1. The example 1 intervals is equal to 1, 3, 2, 6, 8, 10, 15, 18. So after merging this 1, 3 and 2, 6, we get a non-overlapping interval of 1, 6. Then 8, 10 and 15, 18 is as such. Then let's go to the example 2. In the example 2, the intervals is 1, 4 and 4, 5. So there is a continuous interval from 1 to 4 and 4 to 5. So we are returning 1, 5. Let's go to the constraint section as well. So in the constraints, the intervals dot length is from 1 to 10 to the power of 4. So we need not handle any corner case where intervals dot length is equal to 0. And intervals of I dot length is equal to 2. So which means that there will be a start and end in the intervals. And start and end is between 0 and 10 to the power of 4. I hope it is very clear from this question description. Let's go into the explanation part of it. Before going into the explanation for this question, let's try to understand the three basic scenarios that might occur in this interval scenario. So the first one is, given this start and end, the start 2 of the second interval comes in between the start 1 and end 2. So in this case, our merged interval is going to be start 1, end 2. So this is the final merged interval. So let's look at the case 2. In the case 2, both the start 2 and end 2 is between the start 1 and end 1. In this case, our merged interval is going to be start 1, end 1. Now let's look at the case 3. So the case 3 is when the interval 1 and interval 2 are both disjoint. So which means that there is no common interval between these two intervals. So in this case, the output is going to look like this. So we are going to maintain two intervals in this case. So we are going to have start 1 and end 1 and start 2 and end 2. For the purpose of explanation, I have considered the example 1 that is provided in the question. I have made a slight change in the order of these intervals provided in the example 1. In this, the first step that we are going to do is sort these intervals. The reason we are sorting these intervals is because only then we can actually merge these overlapping intervals. So after performing the sort, the intervals looks like this. So we see the order is 1, 3, 2, 6, 8, 10 and 15, 18. Now let's look how the merging of intervals is performed by considering the three scenarios as explained before. So the first step is initialization of these merged intervals. So the result is going to be 1, 3. So we'll initialize a list with 1, 3, so that which is essentially the first interval in the intervals list that is provided. Then we are going to compare the next interval with the existing interval that is provided in the result. So when we compare 1, 3 and 2, 6, this scenario is something similar to the case 1 that is explained before. So in this case, we are performing the merge of these two intervals and the output is going to look like this. It is going to be 1, 6 because we have to take the maximum of 3 and 6. So it is going to be 6 in this case. Next, we are going to compare this 1, 6 with the next interval that is 8, 10. When we are comparing this 1, 6 and 8, 10, we see these both intervals are disjoint. So in this case, we are going to store both of them. So this is similar to the case 3 that is explained before. So we are going to store 1, 6 and 8, 10. Now we are going to compare 8, 10 with 15, 18. So we can clearly see that these both are also disjoint intervals. So in this case, we'll be storing both of them. So the final output looks like this: 1, 6, 8, 10 and 15, 18. I hope it is very clear from this explanation. Let's quickly code this up. Let's start by sorting the intervals. Intervals dot sort. So this is going to perform the sorting in place. Then we are going to create a result to store the intervals result. So we are going to initialize this one with intervals of 0. Then we are going to loop through the rest of the intervals for I in range of 1 to length of intervals. If intervals of I of 0, if it is less than or equal to the current interval, that is going to be result of -1 of 1. In this case, we need to perform the merge of the intervals. So the result of -1 of 1, we are going to update this current interval. So it is going to be the max of the intervals of I of 1, comma, result of -1 of 1. Else the two intervals are disjoint, so in this case we are just going to append it to the result. So it is going to be result dot append intervals of I. Finally, we are going to return the result. I hope we are done. Let's quickly run the code. It is accepted. Let's quickly submit it as well. Yeah, it is submitted. Hope you liked the explanation. For more such videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.